Hello, Dawgpound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Well, it's been an interesting week. Last week, we had Andrew Berry drop the media bomb that Deshaun Watson had a setback in his rehab. They didn't know at the time, they didn't know what had happened. A lot of people in the media immediately started criticizing the Browns front office for not knowing, but they truly did not know what happened. It caught them completely by surprise. Now we're finding out that Deshaun Watson rolled his ankle. And the question now becomes, he was obviously not wearing his walking boot. Now, how long are you supposed to wear a walking boot after you have Achilles tendon surgery? I don't know. But I know, having worn a walking boot, it's really complicated to roll your ankle with a walking boot on. So right now the issue is if this was part of his rehab, he hurt himself part of his rehab, then the Browns, nothing they can do about him and his contract. We do know he's not going to play in 2025. We also know they had some insurance on him for 2025. It's not the $44.2 million that Over the Cap reported. That's insurance for 2025. They had insurance on him for 2024. How much will they get back? I've seen figures anywhere between $5 to $8 million. So they'll get a credit. You get a credit. You don't get money back. You get a credit on the cap. So going into 2025, they'll get a $5 to $8 million credit because Deshaun Watson was hurt for 8 or more games. Now, 2025, he's not going to play. He's going to start on the PUP. There's no way he can come back from another surgery and play in 2025. So they'll probably just stick him on IR. I wouldn't even put him on the PUP list. Just put him on IR for the season. And then in going into 2026, you'll get a $44.2 million credit towards your cap. Now, if he hurt it doing something other than rehabbing, which is right now what the Browns are investigating, they are trying to figure out what happened. They don't believe the people in his camp were honest about this. This completely caught him by surprise. When did this happen? He told the Browns while he was having his exit physical in Berea. So he hadn't been to the team facility at all for rehab. He rehabs down in Florida. I'm sure the Browns are going to have already talked to the guy who performed the surgery, Dr. Andrews, and are collecting as much information as they can as to when that walking boot was supposed to be taken off. Now, originally he had the surgery October 24th. So that would put it at 2.5 months. That sounds about right for a walking boot, 2.5, 3 months. But like I said, I've never torn my Achilles, so I don't know how long he's supposed to be wearing it. I'm sure they are looking at everything and talking to everyone. I'm sure they might be looking at video and still pictures, but we'll find out. This is going to take a while. You're not going to get a quick answer on this one. This is going to take a while. Let's take a quick break. So now we're in the hiring OC, offensive coordinators situation. Today, Mary Kay Cabot reported that they're talking to Clint Kubiak, who may still be under contract with the Saints, but apparently he got permission to talk to the Browns. Kubiak, of course, and Stefanski go way back. This would be a hire that would bring back the Stefanski offense. For all of you who want the Stefanski offense that was top 5 in the NFL, top 10, then this is the offense. Right now, people are talking to the GMs of Atlanta, and they're making it. Atlanta's making it sound like, hey, we're happy to keep Kirk Cousins and pay him a ton of money to be a backup. I don't believe that. But I also know that the Browns aren't going to trade for Kirk Cousins. They're going to wait till he's released. What other team would want Kirk Cousins? Unfortunately, Browns fans, the Pittsburgh Steelers probably would, because right now they don't have a quarterback. Both those guys are free agents. Other than Kirk Cousins, I'm hearing a lot of Daniel Jones chatter, which, yeah, under this system, he could come in and win some games. I've been maintaining this from the beginning. They're going to get a veteran. They're going to get a backup young veteran, and then they're going to draft somebody, a quarterback. But right now, I don't know who the young veteran is. I don't think Jameis Winston is coming back, although they're running Stefanski's offense. He might want to come back. I don't know if the Browns want him back. His bad habit of calling his own plays, which you don't do in the modern NFL. This isn't the years when Peyton Manning can just call whatever's in his head. That doesn't happen anymore. So now we're into the offensive coordinator. I think Kubiak and in-house Tommy Rees might have the inside job. Vrabel, of course, consultant Mike Vrabel took the Patriots job. No surprise. And there was chatter that he might take Tommy Rees with him. I'm hearing that's not going to happen. So you keep Tommy Rees, you promote him to quarterback coach, and you hire Clint Kubiak. Problem solved. I'm sure the media is going to make a big stink. Well, does that mean, what's that mean? Who's calling the plays? Well, at this point, after 3-14, I don't think it really matters who's calling the plays. I just want them to call winning plays. How about that? So, so that would be my dream situation. I like Darrell Bevell, and Stefanski knows him very, very well from their days in Minnesota. But Kubiak has interested me for a little while here. The offensive line coach, Bloomgren, he was hired before the OC. Well, the Browns have been trying to get him for a while. They like him. He was an assistant offensive line coach under Bill Callahan with the Jets. He was the offensive coordinator in Stanford when they've had both Luck and McCaffrey. During that time that he was with Stanford, they put a lot of offensive linemen in the NFL. So you're getting the message that the Browns are moving on from the failed Deshaun Watson experience. They are right now all in on going back to the offense that got them 11 wins last year, and that's fine by me. So the draft. Talk a little bit about the draft. The draft, I don't know what the Browns are going to do in the draft, and I guarantee you they don't either. They're going to talk to all these people. I hear they like Cam Ward more than they like Sanders, but they'll get their opportunities to talk to him during the combine. So that's good. They haven't locked in on anybody. If somebody tells them, I know exactly who the Browns are going to draft, no, they don't know who they're going to draft, and they shouldn't know who they're going to draft. This front office always looks at a free agency to fill holes first. They kind of look at the draft, third round and on for if they contribute, fine. If they don't contribute, we'll train them and practice them so they will replace somebody who's no longer going to be with the team. So who would I draft? I've been very adamant about this. I would take Abdul Carter. Defensive end, Penn State. Don't let anybody tell you that he's too small or he doesn't play the run. That's a load of crap. He is an impact player right from the start. He is the best athlete in this draft right now. A lot of people will say Travis Hunter. Well, Travis Hunter is not going to play two positions in the NFL. Just not going to happen. He's a better wide receiver than he is a defensive back. Now, is he the number one wide receiver? No, he is not. So why would you take a guy? Well, and also he's going to run some specialty plays. Okay, so he runs like 3 specialty plays a game, but he's not the best wide receiver in the draft. So why would you take on the number 2 pick someone who isn't the best wide receiver in the draft? All right. So, and again, if you go to Fans First Sports Network, you'll find my article on what the real salary cap situation is for the Browns in 2025. Don't let anybody tell you that they're broke and they won't spend money. That's a load of garbage. So looking at the team, I got a feeling Joel Patonio is going to be back. If they go full Stefanski's offense, I think he's going to be back. From week 7 or 8 on, minus the snow game against the Steelers, he was playing at a high level. He and Jack Conklin were playing at a high level. I'm not sure about Wyatt Teller. You can get some money, save some money on the cap with him. That's also in my article. Same with Greg Newsome. You can save some money with trading Greg Newsome. So Ethan Posick, you can save some money. So yeah, they're fine. They're going to be fine. And anyway, they outspend everybody in the league in cash spent by $50 million. And Jimmy Haslam will spend the money to get a victory, to get a winning season, to get to the playoffs next year. All right, and watch the playoffs this weekend. I don't know why everybody thinks Justin Herbert is a magic. He's played his worst game. The Steelers want to fire Mike Tomlin right now. And, you know, everybody argues that Kevin Stefanski is the worst coach in the AFC North. You know, the Steelers beat up on bad teams. When they play a good team late in the season, they falter. Their defense looks old and slow. They have no quarterback. They haven't won a playoff game since 2016. And like I've said on previous shows, every team in the AFC North has won a playoff game since the last time the Steelers have won a playoff game. And right now, Steeler fans are sick of it. And too bad. Cry me a river. So Buffalo looked great. Man. Eagles, something just not right with the Eagles offense. It just, and when the Browns played them, the fans were booing the team at halftime after the blocked field goal and the touchdown by the Browns. So, and then last night, probably the best game, Washington versus Tampa. Baker Mayfield fumbles. They got to kick a field goal instead of getting a touchdown. And then later, their rookie center doesn't snap the ball when everybody else moves, and that they had to settle for a field goal. But then they get a doink game-winning field goal by former Brown Zane Gonzalez. How about that? Both kickers in that game were former Browns. So let's just pay attention to this week. You're going to see the coordinator hire. I think they're going to do it rather quickly if they haven't done it by the time I'm done with the show. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. They had a short list and they kept it tight, and they want to get this taken care of as soon as possible. Now the question is, what do they do with Bubba Ventrone? If Vrabel wants him, he can have him. And then they're going to probably do the same thing that they did with the offensive coordinator, short, tight list. They probably already know who they want if they were to come available. Look at teams that don't have coaches anymore. They might steal somebody from one of them if they're let go. And getting back to the draft real quick, sitting at number 2, you've got teams behind them who are desperate for a quarterback. I think the Giants, who know if they don't get it right this time, they're all going to get fired. And let's be honest, same with the Browns. If the Browns don't get it right this time, they're going to be fired too. But there is no quarterback in this draft who's going to come out and start from day one. This is a weak quarterback class. I don't care what you think of each of them. Yeah, they all have their strengths, but they all have their weaknesses. So I would prefer that they maybe day three. Jackson Dart kind of intrigues me only because he would need a year on the bench to study and learn how to play in the NFL. In college, he'd look great for about 55 minutes. And then for that last 5 minutes, he'd look like DTR. I watched a game, Kentucky at Ole Miss, and he was looking fantastic. And then his last 2 or 3 possessions, he just did stupid things. Kentucky came back, beat Ole Miss at Ole Miss, and Kentucky sucked this past year. So that might be a way I'd go. If Kirk Cousins pops free, take a run at him. Daniel Jones, why not? Young backup. Zach Wilson would be good. You just need somebody to come in case your starter gets hurt. So don't know. No Justin Fields. No Justin Fields. Jack Duffin, the cap genius, did a blind study of 3 years of Justin Fields compared to 3 years of Deshaun Watson. Their stats are so similar. So think about that. All right, that'll do it for today. This has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Again, thank you for watching, listening, following, and subscribing. We're just Browns fans like you. So let's move it forward and let's get this right this time, because I don't want to go through a whole rebuild. And I know Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett don't want to go through a rebuild. By the way, neither of them have asked for a trade. They're not going anywhere. All right, everybody have a great day and go Browns.